I want to move to the midfield, Cozzy, because that's another position we need to strengthen in, as we know. Before I talk about the outgoings, because there's one I want to get your thoughts on, I want to talk to you about a bit of report came today about Douglas Luiz. Funny enough, talking about Aston Villa again, looking like he may not, stay with Aston Villa, and it opens a pathway for us maybe to sign him. What do you think about him? And I know we've been linked with this guy. It seems like every single chance window is Douglas Luiz. It never seems to get done.
Yeah.
But do you think this could become a possibility?
It's difficult to say. It's a very, very difficult deal because Villa are in the UEFA Champions League. And Villa are also very tough negotiators because remember the summer of 2021, he was actually like really willing to join Arsenal. And Villa refused to sell him on deadline day. And they said, if you're going to leave, you're actually going to have to leave on a free transfer next summer. And between the season, they actually convinced him to sign a new deal, and he stayed. So it's not actually it's not an easy deal to do with Villa. But when we talk about Douglas Luiz, I think we have seen what Mikel Arteta appreciates about Jorginho this season. We have seen that he can trust him even at an older age. He doesn't have the legs, he doesn't have the speed, but we have seen that he trusts him because of his footballing intelligence and because he just understands the game. So Douglas Luiz for me is another player that is close to Jorginho. Premier League proven. He's been at Man City. His footballing education is top notch. And when you look at Villa with him and Villa without him, you understand that there is a Lodri element in there. Like literally, if he's absent, that's Man City without Lodri. So I would say he would be a good deal for Arsenal. Especially alongside Declan Rice. Declan Rice has got the legs to win the ball back. Luiz is a caretaker of the ball. He loves to take care of the ball. He takes care of the ball very well, and he creates a lot of chances from deep as well. So that would be a midfield signing if it was available that I would see Mikel Arteta making without questions. Like that is a Mikel Arteta player. That is a Pep Guardiola player. If they didn't have Lodri, I wouldn't be surprised if they went back for if Man City went back for Douglas Luiz. Like when you look at him, his profile, his Man City, his Pep Guardiola, his Arsenal, his Mikel Arteta. So I'll take him at Arsenal because I know he is an intelligent footballer. Now his contract runs down in 2026. He's stalling on a new deal. The question is, do Villa want to make money out of him, or would they rather keep him because they have the UEFA Champions League, right? He is in his prime. They're asking for around, they value him at around 60 million. I've seen that they value him at more than 50 million. I think it would be around 60 or 65 million euros. I don't think they would sell this summer. I just don't see it happen. Yes, I do love, Di Natale, who's broken the story, but I don't think that's a deal Villa want to do. I don't think they want to weaken their squad. I think they just want to strengthen. You look at the signing they are making in Rossi Barkley. That is not a signing to replace. That is a signing to make better. It's a signing to bolster the options available to the manager. So for me, I don't see that happen. I don't see them selling. I don't see him leaving. I don't see him wanting to create chaos for Aston Villa. Because at the moment, I think every single player at Villa right now knows where the project is going. They have a manager that is a winner. So probably the club is looking to win some silverware. They have qualified for the UEFA Champions League for the first time in a very, very long time. Don't know when. And of course, they have a manager that can navigate such competitions very well. I won't be surprised to see Villa in the last 16, knocked out in the last 16, because that's Unai Emery. That is what he does. Bit like Carlo Ancelotti. So for me, Luiz to Arsenal, I would take him. Like I would really take him. There is nothing wrong about him. Are you concerned about his injury record? Do you think he really gets injured a lot of the time? I haven't really followed his injury record.
No, I mean, we've got a player in Thomas Partey who we know, we've seen what it's like with him and in the injury records. I mean, I remember Thomas Partey at Atletico, Cozzy. I mean, the guy played 7-8 years and he picked up 7 injuries in his career. He's come to Arsenal and he's got injured every single season, it seems like. So we already have a player. I worry on him. There's a big concern about the injuries in terms of Thomas Partey, who's, well, on paper, one of our, key midfielders there. So Douglas Luiz, I think, as you said, bro, I think would be a very, very good signing for Arsenal. And if we did have to obviously move on from Partey, in whether it be the summer, because obviously we know he's got 1 year left in his contract, I think that'd be a very, very good replacement because, as you said, the guy's Prem proven. He's doing it in the Prem already. I think he's been one of Aston Villa's most important players. It's just the case that Aston Villa, and as you said, with their manager in Emery, with Champions League football next season as well for them, it will be very tough to get this deal done. Another one I wanted to ask you about.
With that deal, it kind of it would remind me of when Manchester United went and got Carrick from Tottenham.
Yes.
That kind of like he would come in and stabilize that midfield for like 8 years.
Facts. No, I'm absolutely spot on. But another one I wanted to ask you about, Kozi, was AS Monaco's Youssouf Fofana, who been very, very many people talking about this guy. He's actually in the French squad for the Euros as well. And people were saying he may even start for them because of a few injury doubts for Tchouaméni, their main midfielder. So he may even be starting in the Euros. But this guy's had an absolute exceptional season with Monaco. The first time I saw him, funny enough, when he played against Arsenal, when we played the pre-season against Emirates Cup, and he scored against us and he absolutely bossed it against us. And I was like, that player looks very, very good. I don't know what the rumors are, but I heard 20 million for Youssouf Fofana.
Yeah, sure.
I look at that and I think that's an absolute bargain. For a player like him.
Yeah, actually, I think the player's spoken about the deal as well, and he said that they have an agreement with Monaco to let him go this summer, but it's not going to be about him benefiting alone. It's about Monaco getting some money that they would love to get, and then Fofana getting a deal that he actually would love to get as well. So it's going to be a very interesting deal to see what happens this summer. Now, for me, Youssouf Fofana is back in the day, I would call him, I would say, just a midfield engine, kind of a dynamite. He's so energetic. He's so like, with midfielders like him, you enjoy to watch them, right? You really, really enjoy to watch them. Like, I used to enjoy Sissoko at Newcastle.
Yeah.
And why I used to enjoy Sissoko was that drive, right? Whenever he picked up the ball and he would drive with pace and he would drive with power. I think that is, that's Youssouf Fofana. Now, with Youssouf Fofana, actually, it's funny. When you think about the midfielders that Arsenal linked with, Zubimendi has a release clause, but he doesn't really want to move to the Premier League. Bruno Guimaraes has a 100 million euro release clause, and Newcastle don't want to sell. So it depends whether Arsenal are really going to pay 100 million for Guimaraes, which I don't see happen, to be honest. And then you have the likes of Douglas Luiz who are not available. Youssouf Fofana is actually a very, very, I would say, good opportunity on the market. Available, he's willing to move. Monaco are willing to sell. He's just an opportunity on the market. But it depends on whether Arsenal think he is the right profile. He dribbles a lot as compared to a Thomas Partey. I think Mikel Arteta in that number 6 role, in that DM role, he prefers someone who can, maybe spread the passes more as compared to dribbling and, getting himself out of position. Someone who would stay a little bit more central because, Declan Rice is going to be shifting to the left-hand side and Odegaard is shifting to the right-hand side. So you want someone who is patient, who is not going to join the action all the time, someone who's going to stay central, someone who's going to kind of lead the rest defense when Arsenal are in possession. In terms of ball winning, I wouldn't doubt him. I think Fofana is a very, very good ball winner. In terms of engine, in terms of energy, in terms of profile, age, just 25, I think he's a good guy, right? I think he's a good lad. But I would prefer, and this is what I would say, I would prefer to have, if Arsenal had Thomas Partey in his prime, I prefer to have Fofana there. Maybe, just as kind of security.
Yes.
I am not 100% sure if he comes in at Arsenal and he gets into that role, because that midfield position is so vital to Mikel Arteta, is so vital to Arsenal, the way we play. And we have seen a high class DM like Declan Rice, one of the best ball winners in the world, like struggle there, because it's not about really defending only. It's about when you're in possession, how do you position yourself? How many touches do you take before passing? That is the metronome of the Arsenal midfield. And many clubs are going to want to shut you down. Many clubs are going to try to put 2-3 players against you. And if you cannot move the ball through that guy, it means you're either going to move it in wide areas. Clubs are just going to stay central, and you're going to really have a big time, a difficult time breaking them down. So for me, I would want to see still a player like, Partey, a player with the qualities of Thomas Partey, Jorginho qualities. Because one of the things Jorginho gave us this season, when he came into the team alongside Declan Rice, yes, he gave Declan Rice the liberty to go and do whatever he does, but he gave us an outlet. Like, Raya got an outlet, Saliba got an outlet in midfield, Gabriel got an outlet. All the players in defense, they got an outlet in Jorginho. He's comfortable receiving with his back facing the opponent's goal, and then he's comfortable to turn. His passing range is elite, one of the best in the Premier League, I would even say. I think his qualities and Partey's qualities under pressure and in tight spaces, and their ability to turn and progress the ball, that is still kind of ungettable on the market right now, because you're not going to resurrect Rodri. You're not going to go back and get Busquets. It's not that easy to get such qualities. But so I would say with Fofana, a midfielder plus him, that would be okay. But bringing him in, especially with Thomas Partey's unreliable nature, would be a bit of a gamble. It's not a bad player, but it would be a bit of a gamble. And with the Premier League looking at us as they should be the next champions, I wouldn't really want to take so many gambles, especially there in midfield.